Hello and welcome everybody, what's going on? This is Mirza and Mir TV, and tomorrow we are playing against Werder Bremen, so of course I will do a preview to that match. Now tomorrow is obviously the cup, the semi-final of the DFB Pokal, and before I get to that I just want to talk about a couple of things. First of all, obviously I did not do a Let's Talk Football for last week, but there wasn't really that many games that I watched, so I didn't think there's going to be a need to make a Let's Talk Football, just because obviously I've had some assignments to do that were due for today actually, so I've been a little bit busy, which is why I didn't watch that many games last week, although I did watch a few, and I will talk about those next week because I'm going to watch the same teams that I watched last week this week again, mainly Atletico Madrid, because we're playing them of course in 2 weeks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on them. I'm going to watch the game that's going to happen this week, as well as the game from last week. I'm going to watch that again, and then I'm going to go watch the 2 matches against Barcelona again, and then I'm going to go watch like the last 2 or 3 matches in the league against, let's say, maybe Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Sevilla maybe, and I'll basically be watching a few games, and then we'll talk about that. I will talk about Atletico Madrid much more in depth in the video on Sunday. So on the video on Monday, which will be basically like a Let's Talk and an Atletico Madrid analysis combined in one video. That way we'll be able to actually see what they're weak at, what they're good at, which I think most of us already know, defending, and how they like to play, what kind of what kind of traits they have, what kind of habits they have. Does a certain player like going to the left? Does a certain player like going to the right? The usual thing basically. But this time we're going to go much more in depth because this is the semi-final. But let's actually talk about Werder Bremen. Before I get to Werder Bremen, let me just say Boateng is back, and I'm not expecting it. Yeah, you know what? You can put that with Werder Bremen. Boateng is back, but I'm not expecting him to play tomorrow. I'm not expecting him to play, and the reason for that is quite simple. He's only just done team training today. Pep wasn't even sure if he's going to do team training, squad training today or tomorrow. Turns out that he was able to do that today. That's great, but he's not going to play. I think anyone who's expecting Boateng to play against Werder Bremen needs to get that right out of their head. He's not going to play unless, and here's a big unless Pep's like, you know what, I'll just play you. I do the same thing with Ribery. I'll just play you, Boateng. You know what? Yeah, get a few minutes here and there. Go play. Go injure yourself. Unless that's happened, right? Boateng is not Ribery. Ribery, he came back, against, I think it was Gladbach, and he was firing. He only had 1 training session, and he was back in it for 10 minutes. He scored a goal, and then he got injured in the next match. So it's not worth the risk, and I don't want to see that being worth the risk. I'm a little bit against the idea of him playing on Saturday against Hertha Berlin. Because obviously the consensus is that if he plays against Hertha Berlin maybe 20 to 30 minutes, he'll be able to play 90 minutes versus Atletico Madrid away. But I'm against that. I don't think, I don't want to rush it, because the most important thing for me right now are 2 things. The first of all is the semi-final, and I think we need him more at home than we do away, because at home, Atletico, if they get an away goal, we're screwed. That's basically the way it is, depending on obviously how the first game goes. But if Atletico score a goal, we are screwed. And for that match, I would like to see Boateng be fully fit, 90 minutes, come back and boom, stop them from scoring. That's what I want to see. Away, it's not that important, because I think away Atletico will attack, but because of our style, we will have most of the we'll have most of the ball. We'll dominate play, and we should be able to, obviously with Javi and Benatia, Kimmich, we should be able to Alaba. We should be able to really stop Atletico from scoring. I'm not that worried about that offense, to be fair. I'm much more worried about their defense. They can always score 1 goal, but I don't see them as a team that can score 2-3 goals. That's what I think, right? I think we're gonna need to have the goals, and I don't think Boateng will be that important in that aspect, of course. But here's what most of you guys have probably clicked on this video for. We're playing against Werder Bremen tomorrow. We're playing against Werder Bremen tomorrow, right? So what we're going to have to look at here is quite simple. How we beat Werder Bremen, what's a key player? And I think most of us can pretty much tell their key player, Claudio Pizarro. And they've done well. they haven't been that great in the league, but they've done well in general. Since Claudio Pizarro has joined, when he's played, he's been awesome. But the thing is, he hasn't played that much. Yeah, that's a little thing. But he's ready to go right now. He's ready, fit, and he's able to actually do damage. The last time we played against Werder Bremen, he was obviously injured, and yes, he's going to be ready to play in that match, and he could be a dangerous player, as most of us probably know. But yeah, how do you start Pizarro? The thing about Pizarro is not your typical striker. He actually likes dropping deep a little bit and linking up playing a little bit more. So having a man on him is going to be difficult. The thing is, though, obviously most teams that we play against, especially especially a team that is not as good as us with individual players, a team like that is going to struggle against us a lot. And you're not going to expect Pizarro to really run up the pitch for that. You're not going to expect Pizarro to run the whole pitch to score a goal. You're not going to really expect that, are we? Now, let's be realistic here. No. We've got the people that are much faster than him, and so I'd actually be surprised if he's actually playing. If he is playing, stop him. That's as easy as it goes. Stop him. We're faster than him, and we can position ourselves amazingly. The only thing is, he's a player that can that knows what to do, not just by scoring goals, but also by making runs. So yeah, we need to be careful of that as well. The few chances that Hurt will get, and if the ball is in the box, he'll score, and that's a big problem. Set pieces, he'll score. From corners, obviously set pieces, he'll score any type of way, and that's what we'll have to be careful for. But I think that's really our biggest threat. That's really Werder Bremen's biggest threat now in terms of us actually playing. Now we can play Koman, who I think is actually going to, I think he's actually going to play that match, and I think we might see Koman and Ribéry have like the two Frenchmen play with maybe, I'm not 100% sure, but maybe Götze, in the middle. I don't know how that would work out, because obviously he's played 90 minutes on the weekend. He was pretty tired by the end. You could tell that he was pretty tired. But I would just like to see him play more. Just him maybe play for 45 minutes and then Thiago play for 45 minutes, or him play or Thiago play for 60 minutes and Götze play for 30 minutes, because obviously being a much more offensive version, essentially basically playing as a second striker. And I just like to see that. I just like to see him get his confidence back, essentially, because he is a player that needs confidence, and that's what he needs. But yeah, where do I think the goals are going to come? I mean, we have so many weapons that you could possibly see all the goals come from anywhere. But I think that Vidal, with the way he's just been playing recently, we're getting forward in every single occasion and doing defensive job as well. I think that Vidal, he's going to score again. I think he's going to continue his run. I mentioned it last week, but obviously Mirzan Roth's article, saying something that Vidal hasn't really scored. And I remember at the beginning of the season, I don't know which commentator it was, but there was a commentator that on the first day or the second day of the season, I think it might have been Owen Hargreaves, who said that Vidal, by the end of the season, he's gonna be in double figures, and I want to see that. It's obviously taken him a while to really settle in, but now that he's settled in, he's really shown why we paid that much money for him. And for me, I want to see that. I want to see more of that. I want to see him score, because that's how you reward yourself with good performances. So I want to see him score, and I want to see a Lam goal. I always want to see a Lam goal. Okay, Lam is probably my favorite player. I don't really have a favorite player, but of all players, Lam is probably at the top. He is the top, alright? Lam is my favorite player. Screw it, alright? I'll say it right now. Lam is my favorite player, okay? If you read my bio, my YouTube bio, go on my channel, click on about. I wrote right there, I rate Lam over Zidane. I don't care what you guys think. I value consistency more than peak performance, and Lam is the most consistent player I have ever seen. Zidane, he was a little bit pretty inconsistent, actually. Not a little bit inconsistent, pretty inconsistent. So I value Lam higher than Zidane. Here, I've said it, okay? Screw me. But yeah. Score prediction. Like I said, I think we're gonna play Koman and Ribéry. I think Koman, he just deserves to play just based on his performances, and especially considering that he's a young player. I think that for young players, obviously you want them to play more and more. That way they'll be able to develop more. Because right now he's basically the opposite of Robin. Robin gets the ball, cuts inside. Koman if Koman plays on the right, gets the ball, cuts outside. So I think he just needs. He's young, so he's still able to really add to his repertoire. And I think that he's gonna work on that a lot. I think over the next 3 or 4 years or so, I think we're gonna really see Coman just develop himself and just really get out there, just really show the world how good he is essentially. But right now I'm really happy with what I've seen from Coman. I think he just needs to play more. He's obviously been a little injured, but I think it's time for him to really come back into the squad. And yeah, I want to see him play. I want to see Götze play. Perhaps rest Muller. An eye on obviously the Hertha Berlin match, and then obviously Atletico Madrid, and maybe play you know what I've got an idea, right? Let's play a 4-3-3, and let's play we all basically can assume what our defensive setup will be. I think Javi and Benati will play on the left. It'll be Alba. On the right you'll have Lam. Then I think as a pivot I don't think he is booked, but I'll go with Vidal. Actually, you know what? I'll go with Alonso. On the left, I'd go with Thiago. On the right, I'll go with Vidal. And then your front three, I'll have Ribéry, Coman, and Götze. That is what I want to see. That is what I see. I don't think we've played that way before this season with Götze as the main striker. But that would be quite interesting to see how that goes. Because for me, Götze, he hasn't really showed much. He hasn't really taken chances. He hasn't really, when he got the ball, he hasn't scored. He hasn't taken the shot. And I think he needs to do so more. Like the only time I can actually remember, and I got a pretty good memory. I got a pretty short-term memory, right? So the only time I can actually remember Götze actually doing anything, like taking a shot in the last couple of weeks, has been when he took the shot, it got saved, and then Ribéry did his overhead kick, and that's the only one that I can really remember. So for me, he needs to have that confidence. And I think him playing as a sole striker it's basically Pep telling him go and shoot, go and shoot, go and score, and I think that's what he kind of needs. Not just like do create a lot of things, because obviously we're playing against parked buses, so that could be a problem. But just go shoot, go score, go have fun. That's essentially all you need. Götze still a young person, so you kind of need just have fun, have fun. Ladies and gentlemen, he needs to have fun. That's what I think. Score predictions. I keep going back to that word. Score predictions. I think we're gonna win. I think of course we're gonna win. I'll go with a 3-0 victory. It's quite a high victory considering how we played recently, although of course we did quite well against Schalke. But I just think the team, they won't admit it, but they're not gonna go to Werder Bremen and think, okay, you know what, it's gonna be the most difficult game. No, they'll just be like, okay, you know what, if we play good game, we should be through it. That's let's be realistic here. I don't have anything against Werder Bremen, but let's be realistic here. The team right now is focused on Atletico Madrid. We all know that. Most of us, when you speak to most Bayern fans as well, most won't really. You discuss something. If you try and discuss games with them, the only games that people want to talk about are the 2 Atletico Madrid matches. So let's face it, right? Those are our 2 biggest matches of the season. Those are the 2 biggest matches. I'm not saying the other matches aren't important, but right now, in the next 3-4 weeks, those 2 matches are the most important matches, and I think the players will have an eye on that. I don't think they'll drop their level that far down that we're gonna lose the match against Werder Bremen and against Hertha Berlin. But I think that there is gonna be a drop. I think that's basically what we've seen. There's gonna be a drop, and then once we get to the Champions League semi-final matches against Atletico Madrid, I think that's when the level are gonna spike again. And that's just what I think. Like I said, 3-0. I think we're gonna have a clean sheet. Javi, Benatia, they'll show the world what they can do. Mari gets to show the world that you're battling Messi. Is he? Is he though? No. Is he? Maybe. No. He's not. Is he? No. Is he? Tell me in the comment section down below. Is Mario Götze better than Messi? I mean, I know what I think, and for me, it's like no, no way. But tell me what you guys think in the comment section down below. Like I said, I've got no opinion on this right now whatsoever. I don't think. I just act. Now that's all there is to it. I don't think I just speak. I just act and I just do. Thinking it's overrated. It really is. But tell me what you guys think in the comment section down below. As always, people, you can rate, comment, favorite, and subscribe. Please have a nice day.